Hi everyone, Chris here with Rainbow Guys DIY. Today I'm going to show you how we installed our new range hood. Now we replaced a range hood that was non-vented, so it was a recirculating range hood, meaning it would suck up the air from the stove and just blow it back in your face. Didn't much care for that. So in our remodel we opted to go for a vented model. So as you can see, it does have a shaft that goes up out the ceiling and then out the roof to exhaust any smoke or fumes or smells or anything that you have going on in your kitchen. Now since the old unit was a recirculating unit, I had to do all of the venting myself, so I'm going to show you how I did that. As a reminder, I am not a licensed contractor, so this is all strictly what I have learned watching YouTube videos. I am going to walk you through all the tips and tricks that I have learned, maybe pick up something new. I've never done it before, so we're going to see how difficult it actually is, because of course, on TV, it always looks easy. So I lost the first little bit of video. We just bought a new camera and a new computer to better edit all of these videos, and somewhere along the lines I just misplaced the file. The only piece that I did not get on film was cutting a 6-inch hole in the ceiling. So I measured out halfway in between these two cabinets, right where the shaft was going to go, and all the way back at the wall drew a 6-inch circle and cut that out. You can actually use any ducting that comes with your vent as kind of a template to make sure that you have a hole big enough to fit it through. So now I have to go up in the attic, find the hole I just cut, and drill a hole in the roof. I'm going to drill it and then stick, so I have a fishing rod, not for fishing fish, but for fishing electrical wire that I will stick through the hole so it's easier to find on the roof. And then we will mark it out in the correct location. It has to line up with the shingles. Cut our hole, put in the vent, connect the flexible venting, and I think that will be it. So now I'm going to put on my dust mask because it's gross up in the attic, and I will figure out how to film up there. So I think you can kind of see over there in this bay, I think is where the hole is. I can see the gas pipe for the stove. So now the fun gross part, to actually find my way over there without falling through the roof. Just trying to find the joists so I can balance on them. That's a gas pipe. Yep, pretty sure that's what that is. There's a light. So the recessed lights I put in, there's one right there and one right there. So that's the one closest to the wall, then the middle of the kitchen. The other one's over there. So this is about right. I don't think this is going to work. Okay, I think we're going to approach this in a different direction. So I got to go back downstairs. Well, now that the attic was a bust, I'm going to attempt to do everything from right here in the kitchen. You see I've cut my hole right here. It's 6 inches, so it should be a good size to work through. I am still going to wear my mask and goggles because there's pretty much a bird's nest right above our stove. So, all kinds of stuff in the way. I'm also going to wear some gloves because I don't know what I'm going to run into. Looks like a bunch of nasty. Let's just start pulling this out and see what we got to work with. Okay. That part's done. So now I'm going to drill a hole. Oh, that's not going to work. Dang it! I need a really long drill bit. Gonna make a trip to Home Depot, and we'll be back. All right, we're back from Home Depot with a longer bit. So I'm gonna drill my hole and then place in the fishing rod to mark it and then go up on the roof. I see light, I made it through. Yay, there's a hole in the roof. It's a little hole. There we go. Steady. All right, now to go outside. So right here is the hole I drilled as my placement. As you can see, it's fairly close to the groove, ledge, I don't know what it's called. So I'm gonna have to move it back a little, which is fine because it is a flexible duct that we're installing. So as long as it's close to the hole in the roof, we should be fine. So it's right there. So I don't want to go too far off to either side. I think right there should work. You also want the back edge right here to line up with the front line of a row of shingles, because you're actually going to wedge it under the shingles to keep the water from getting into your house. So it'll be about right there. And this pencil does not show up on our roof. When working on your roof or anywhere else that's hard to get to, come prepared with every possible tool you think you might need. I did, right there. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as my template. The front of it needs to line up right there. And I do want to make it ever so slightly larger because we are going to be putting on this clamp, which has this bump right here. So I want to make sure that fits down through the hole when it comes time. I can barely see the hole, but I think it'll be good enough. Today I will be using an oscillating saw. They are pretty thick. Okay. We keep cutting. This is gonna take a while. All right. Had to bring out the big guns. Cutting circles with this is not always the easiest thing just because of the size of the blade. Probably making a huge mess in the kitchen right now. There's a bunch of wires right there. It's not quite a circle, but that I think will be good spot to fit the clamp in. Okay, next I need to cut away some shingles to fit this up underneath. So you're going to cut the shingles so they butt up right along this part, and the metal flange will fit under the shingles. Okay, so those are the two lines that I should go straight down from. I'm not going to cut this top row of shingles, but this second and third. So the flange will fit up under this row of shingles, go underneath these two on the side, and then overlap this bottom. So there's just the two rows of shingles that need to be cut. It's really hard to see a black line on black shingles, just FYI. Okay, something like that. I can trim away as needed. These are very thick shingles.
I bet you could use the oscillating saw for that.
Probably. Oh, this is fine. The oscillating saw blade is very dull right now. Oops. Too far. The aggregate of the asphalt tore it up pretty good. Okay, so there's that. Before I actually put this in, I do want to attach the hose. I'm going to fish this through and make sure it will fit over this mass of wires so that when I'm down in the kitchen, I'm not trying to fiddle with it too much. Thank goodness it is a flexible tube, so it can be coerced if needed. That goes that way. Perfect. Then when I am in the kitchen, I can just reach in and grab that, I think, in theory. So the vent kit didn't come with any kind of clamps for the ends of the hose. It did come with the hose. So we opted to buy some clamps just for a little added security to make sure that it stays nice and tight on there, as well as on the end of the hood. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Very difficult. Making progress. So I'm now going to clamp it down. Now to get it underneath the shingles. All done. I did put some, you can see it squeezing out there, some sealant, air duct sealant, underneath both the metal flange as well as underneath the shingles. So there's 2 layers going up just as a little extra weather protection. Also put a couple nails in under the shingles to secure the vent in place. All right, now that we had that fun adventure, we have a hole in the roof and the piping starting to be fished through. So I'll just help it along. Get a good chunk of it past all these wires so that I could pull it down, because it does need to reach the top of the vent. About right there. But right here there are just 2 anchors with screws, and the vent hood rests on those. That is it for holding it to the wall, for the vent hood itself. I do need to install another bracket at the ceiling that's going to hold the pipe cover, but that's really all there is to it. It's really simple. If you already have an existing duct, it'll be even easier. So there are 2 holes in the back side here, and those screw onto this bracket, like so it'll just screw in from the outside into there. This is what's going to hold it up at the ceiling level. We don't have a lot of space between the top of the hood and the ceiling, so I had to do some fooling around. I read the instructions, which were not terribly clear. I'm going to start with the bottom first, get that all lined up, and then slide up the inner piece of the duct cover and attach it to the top, and hopefully not swear too much. We'll see. I did use some masking tape to hold it in place. The inner cover is smaller than the outer. It ends right there. So if I just let it go, it would fall, and there's not enough for me to get my hand in to fish it back up. So we're going to give this a try. So far, so good. goes in. And there it is. The hood is all installed, covers on, and it works, which is the important part. So it was a little more difficult than I think I was anticipating, but it's done. I'm pretty confident the venting is all good. Not gonna have any issues with leaks on the roof. Put lots and lots of sealant up there. So we will see. I guess this is it. That's the whole project, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also be sure to follow us on Instagram at rainbowguysdiy. See you next time.